think we go where others haven't gone before.
Pristine, isolated, untouched.
It's wild up here.
Kimberley to me is far more than I expected. It's almost like another world.
I've never seen anything like it, and it's here in Australia.
The scenery, the art, it's just been an amazing experience.
There's nothing like seeing it in person.
You just get this sense of time and space and colour. It's a very special, almost spiritual experience.
That's the kind of thing that I like sharing to the guests, the Indigenous side of things.
There's so much change and there's so much beauty.
It's almost like cruising into a nature documentary.
Getting into the adventure, getting into the sense of excitement. It's absolutely beautiful here.
Going for a swim in the Kimberley, in the salt water, what could be better?
The Kimberley is just a fantastic place to be.
You'll enjoy every single moment of it.
Operating anywhere, local knowledge makes your excursions and your cruising a lot better. 98% of the Kimberley you can't access by road. So if you want to experience the true Kimberley area, it has to be done by sea because you physically cannot get to just about everywhere that we travel to. So it's really important for us to be able to look ahead, identify which locations are applicable for that particular tide on that cruise, so then we can deliver the best product on the day. With 35 years experience in the region, we've got a lot of information.
So we need to have an idea of what we're doing in the ocean and a lot of experience with interpretation about all the geology and nature, all the wildlife we're going to see.
We normally always have fully booked Kimberley trips on every vessel, and it's popular for the right reasons. I think it's a great trip. It's Australian culture and it's beautiful.
And it doesn't matter how many times you come up here, it's always different. No two are the same.
I think that's what the guests really love, is that they get to come here and it's a break away from reality. And we've got our younger crew. They're very good at their jobs and they're very formal, but at the same time can have a joke and a laugh with guests, which they really enjoy.
If there's anything that we can do, please do not hesitate to ask. Again, if they're really, really awkward questions or difficult questions, David, will go to first of all.
We tend to like to muck around with them and get to know them a bit more because we're a smaller vessel as well, so we're normally talking to them a lot more and see them around.
The crew is fantastic. Yeah, they know how to put it on for you and they're just good. I call them kids, but yeah, I think they're real good kids and a great bunch. They're always happy. That's what you want.
You're going to get a 15-minute call, probably a 10-minute call and a 5-minute call. But I'm going to have you trained up very well very soon.
The crew are marvellous. They're so friendly, just make you feel relaxed and at home.
There is no sleeping tomorrow, just to let you know. So that means you'll be having a 6 o'clock breakfast. Yes, I know it hurts a little bit.
The crew will go for their first trip of the day just to make sure that the conditions are safe, not only for the crew but also for the passengers.
We have the Explorer, which holds all of the guests that are on board and take them out to our sites.
Which is probably one of the big draw cards of the Explorer and the launching retrieval system is it's a completely feet dry system.
People can walk directly out from the dining room and onto the Explorer.
It's lowered down on the big hydraulic platform lifts and away they go.
And operated on the platform system also means that people don't have to be climbing in and out of the Zodiac all day. It gives them a nice comfortable platform to be working from and shelter for the guests.
They take you off the boat and you experience something that you've never experienced before.
The first thing we did was head to the top of Whirlpool Pass, and that pass is just amazing with the tide.
You've got the water, it's either coming in or it's going out, and you have these eddies and whirlpools just develop.
It's one of those spots that we go through, even on the big ship. It's a pretty insane place where so much water goes through one spot. And especially on the Explorer, you get to look over the side and really see how deep those whirlpools go.
And we got to see the true power of the Kimberley tides and that metre difference in the height of the water as it came around the point. Just fantastic for the guests to see.
You know, you think you're going to be sucked down into them, but the drivers are just so experienced.
It's a great location for entertaining the guests and ourselves. After lunch, we headed into Silica Beach.
When you are able to have a guest lecturer explain to you what you can see and do, I think it makes the experience a whole lot richer.
Fills all those gaps in that you didn't know before.
If you see them green, they're not ripe, but if you see them white, you can eat them. And you spit out the seed, because you don't want
propagated
Jack and the Beanstalk scenario. So that's where my knowledge comes from. Learning from my uncles, from my aunties, learning from our elders.
They're the subject matter experts, whether it's on geology, it could be on biology, marine biology, and they don't mind to have a chat.
The water is crystal clear. It has the whitest sand in all of the Kimberley, and it's just a beautiful place to swim.
We're not really sure why that this particular beach has got this wonderful white silica sand, but all the other beaches around it are just a little bit different, but this one is very special.
During the tides there, if it's high or low, you've got to really match that medium, otherwise the water's going to be really murky. But the guests on this trip got to experience it when it was perfect. So today we had the opportunity to anchor up at Talbot Bay in the morning and experience the sunrise there, which is also home to the horizontal waterfalls.
Between the 4 deckhands, we operate all of the Zodiacs and the Explorer.
We get in there the night before, and then early in the morning we'll set up all the tenders, get everything ready to go, and the guests will start doing runs through the falls by about 7:30.
So using our Zodiacs, we're able to get all the way through the wide gap in horizontal falls, which really creates such an exciting experience for our guests.
It was amazing, you know, holding on for dear life, but it was so much fun.
Getting that adrenaline rushing through, I think it was about 10 metres this time, which is very rare to experience such a massive flow of water.
It was pretty off tap.
I've just got goosebumps thinking about it.
True power of the Kimberley tides at its peak flow. Just amazing. We were in Talbot Bay and heading into the start of Cyclone Creek. The geology around that area is just incredible.
And just this feeling that you're part of this landscape that's, 2 billion years old.
The colours here are just quite amazing. The blacks, the browns, the ochre colours, not what I expected either. Beautiful, beautiful high rock formations, and it's wonderful.
The Kimberley spent a lot of time on its own, then it reconnected with mainland Australia, then it had all sorts of tectonic forces lifting these big sedimentary layers up into the atmosphere, and you've got all this amazing history when you're staring at a lump of rock. And slowly the picture starts forming of how old this place is, how magnificent it is. It's just nothing like any other part of Australia.
So this morning we got to do a sunrise cruise at Montgomery Reef.
Montgomery Reef, that was absolutely out of this world. It's a wonderful experience.
Seeing the flow, the speed of it, how far it goes out of the water, absolutely a wonder of the world.
It's such a vast piece of reef, and on this particular cruise we had a 10.4 metre tidal range, which is a huge amount of water.
And on the Zodiac, we were able to get right up close. So it's all water, and then all of a sudden this whole landscape just comes out of the ocean and surrounds you.
You know, we can go into these places. We don't draw a great deal of water, so that's, you know, that enables us to be able to do that, where others, they'll come unstuck.
Only a certain amount of boats can go there per year, so it is a very special opportunity to get to see that.
It's very much a living scenery that does change by the hour.
This afternoon, everyone went up to Redcone Creek.
Going onto the Explorer, we get to go into these little inlets and beaches that bigger cruise ships wouldn't be able to fit into.
So whenever we're doing our landing, going onto shore, the Explorer comes up to the rock, we lower the platform, and then that way people can just step straight off the front of the boat.
Really good opportunity to go climb up a bit of a cliff.
I'm not a person that likes heights, and I thought, you're here, you must do it.
And then we'll go for a swim up in a little freshwater hole at the top of a waterfall. Pretty cool spot.
The waterfalls, as the season dries up, you do get less water flowing from them. But Redcone Creek is spring-fed, so that one's flowing all year round.
The rock build and the waterfall, it's just incredible.
Being able to see all of this over and over again, it's still amazing every time you come back.
We've got a few more days yet to come, so excited about it.
What you get in terms of experience is a real sense of what both Australia and the world would have been like thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago.
You can see the Kimberley by land, but it's completely different. I've done it personally on land, and coming on the water is just so much more phenomenal.
There's some amazing geology. You literally will arrive at an isolated beach and you'll be the only people there. It really is a very, very remote and isolated location.
And then you're onto this wonderful tidal flat where there's all these marine life just waiting to be discovered.
When we go to all these different places in the Kimberley, things change when you do these trips. The landscape, the animals. We get the whales that come up here.
We've got crocodiles just floating past.
We saw probably 4 1.5 to 2 metre crocs, having a little bit of a swim.
Lots of sea life and dolphins, and the wildlife later in the Kimberley season comes out, so you get a bit more bird life.
I think it's one of the last truly wilderness experiences on Earth.
A bevy of wildlife to have a look at before we even get to the tree.
The guests make their way up through the bushland to follow that track, and it will take you to that amazing baobab tree. A lot of guests don't actually see baobab trees around Australia, and you only see them really in the Kimberley and sort of far north Queensland area.
You come back on board, and if you didn't have a talk beforehand, it's explained to you. That's been amazing. And to have a guest lecturer, an Indigenous guest lecturer, is wonderful.
If you find a paperbark tree, it stores a lot of water, fresh water.
Goimer's been wonderful with all his knowledge.
So for us, it's about interpreting, through storytelling and demonstrations and workshops and just getting the full experience.
One of the other amazing things about having Goimer on board is that he'll pick up some sticks and leaves and make it into a traditional medicine.
When you're feeling sick, very sick, this is what we used to do. Stringy bark. This thing is very powerful, bush medicine. Cutting it. So once the Moccasins came from Indonesia, they brought this yiki. We call this yiki knife. Not only knife, tobacco, and many other things. So they were like our They were like our guys from Bunnings.
He's got such a wonderful personality. He's great.
Sitting through some of their onboard presentations, you're so much more attuned the next day when you go into a region, and it just really adds to the experience when you're out on an excursion.
So I worked with the coral expedition through adopted father of mine. His name is Ian Morris. Ian kind of became adopted by my grandparents, and my grandfather was Ian's mentor.
In order to learn Indigenous science up there, I had to be good at language. I began learning the Indigenous languages very young. Then the old men could talk to you and tell you all the fine details. They didn't know how to say it in English. And that's what happened in Australia. English dominated, and it meant that Indigenous people weren't able to express all the fine details that they had. And it's very sad because the price we had to pay for that sort of linguistic ignorance was we lost all the knowledge that they had accumulated over 65,000 years of managing this land. It was the key to the whole environment, and it sort of stopped with language. So I was really keen to learn that stuff, their language and their science, and I was in heaven.
So that's how I got to know Ian, and that's how I got to learn from him as well.
We saw some Aboriginal rock art that was here before the pyramids, it was here before the Sumatrans. So it's just an amazing sense of time.
It's very special to be able to stand there and take in what someone has painted thousands of years ago.
Walanda people have said it was probably around 40,000 years old.
Today was a really special experience. We sailed through the King George River that snakes through 100-metre high sandstone cliffs, incredible colours, finishing at King George Falls.
Which for me so far has been the highlight of the trip.
The power and the noise and the majesty of it, nothing like it.
It's beautiful, especially when it is the wet season and there's been a lot of rain. I've never seen anything like that. The rock build and the waterfall, it's just incredible. And you get to go under the waterfall. Yeah, every time it's just so beautiful.
Once you're up close on the ground, you actually get an even better experience or a better feel of the waterfall there. It's just an amazing spot, and it really dwarfs you. There's no photo that quite captures the scale of things in the Kimberley.
It's just always such a good day.
When we went over to the beach yesterday afternoon, that was probably my highlight of the sunset. It was amazing. We got greeted with champagne, beautiful nibbly tray they had.
There was dancing, music.
My family will be really impressed. Oh, they'll be impressed with the nut bush.
And the guests, every time they come back, they're always smiling because they've always had a lot of fun.
And everyone gets to come up, enjoy some pre-dinner drinks.
Up to the sun deck bar, and they get an hour to an hour and a half up there enjoying the sunset while having a drink.
Who wants to stop at 1?
At sunset, which I think was around 7:15, the rocks were bright red, colour that I simply haven't seen anywhere else in the world.
They amaze me all the time. The sun was just a bright red and orange, and even the sunrises are always beautiful as well.
The scenery is incredible.
It's a great time to get to talk to people and to find out more about them as the meals are.
Getting to know the guests a bit more at dinner is always good.
The food is just amazing. It's wonderful. There's always a choice.
food's incredible here. The 3 meals a day, you've got our buffets during the morning, and then our lunch and dinner are a la carte services, where you get the opportunity to choose from 3 different meals at lunchtimes. And then at dinner you'll have 2 entree opportunities, and then you'll have 3 different mains to choose from, and then a dessert.
With all great people.
If you just want to come up and stargaze, beautiful.
It's always a really fun night.
You come out here and you can go days without seeing another boat. You can't find this anywhere else. It's nice to get somewhere that not everyone can get to.
There's a serenity about the region, yeah, and going into those environments where it just feels, it does feel special.
And I was just shocked by its beauty. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it.
Come out, enjoy the true wilds of Western Australia and this whole region, and learn the country.
It's just so amazing where the geology and the wildlife and the history.
It's literally one of the most remote places on Earth. It's incredible, yeah.
Well, I've never been on a cruise, and I don't think I actually want to get off this cruise. It's been a great experience.
And it's been great on the boat, just, you know, listening to other people's stories and other people's travels along the way.
And just the look and expressions on people's faces, it is fantastic.
I think why people love to come back to Coral is because it's not a big cruise or anything like that, and they all get really familiar with each other. And the crew, they all say how much they love the crew, their enthusiasm, their love for the Kimberley, and they think that really makes it as well.
The crew are amazing, and even though you may have a name tag, within 2 days they know who you are.
It's actually really, really nice for me as a captain to see people coming back.
And getting on that personal level with all the guests and learning about their lives and where they've been, and it's like a second family, really. Yeah, my other family gets jealous that I call them my second family.
Everyone's here for the same experience. I think that's what draws them to each other, and I still talk to some guests that I sailed with 2 years ago because you just become friends. Like, that's what happens.
Between breakfast, lunch and dinner, we've got to sit down with everybody on the cruise so far, and it's been wonderful.
Have a look at some of the elders dancing on the beach, and yeah, they makes them feel young. Yeah, they make you feel good too.
They're all in their separate little groups, and then out of nowhere it's like day 2 and they're all sitting together and they all become friends, and they tell me that they become lifelong friends, which is really cool.
Harmony and peace, and that's what I want to share to the guests, you know, about my knowledge about the oldest culture in the world. Yolngu culture, Aboriginal culture. So that's what I love.
It's exciting, it's picturesque, it's a wonderful experience.